I want to cover at least one more story before we break, and we still have Congressman Mike Capuano joining us later. Big transition, Lewis. I mean, we're covering all the bases, everything from Jersey chasing and the effect on women to
nuclear explosions in Japan.
It's all on the table. Let me remind our audience. This is the only show I will have the opportunity to remind you about this because this contest ends before our next show. Netroots Nation Scholarship. We need your help. Got to be in the top 3. We're barely in 3rd place right now. DavidPakman.com. Top left of the site, just below the David Pakman Show logo. There's a link. Click. We've timed it. It takes 18 seconds. Even for Lewis, it only took 19 or 20 seconds, I think is fair to say.
I'm a little slower than the average person, yeah.
And we need your help. So please log on. We need you to do it today. And, tell your friends. I don't know if anybody ever really tells their friends, but I guess, I don't know.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Glenn Beck was wondering about Japan and the earthquake, and he started wondering about whether or not the earthquake was a message from God. You guys know Glenn Beck. I'm sure you've heard of him. I'm going to play for you what he said. It's pretty outrageous, and we'll see what you make of it, and then we'll talk about it. I definitely have some thoughts about this, Lewis. Here we go. Glenn Beck on the Japanese earthquake.
We can't see the connections here. Now, look, I'm not saying God is, causing earthquakes. Well, no, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that either. God, what God does is God's business. I have no idea. But I'll tell you this, whether you call it Gaia or whether you call it Jesus, there's a message being sent. And that is, hey, that stuff we're doing? Not really working out real well. Maybe we should stop doing some of it. I'm just saying.
He's completely falling apart, right? I mean, the wheels are coming off. Everything's falling off the walls. He's basically saying, there is no need for anyone to take me seriously. This, Lewis, is mainstream discussion in this country. Whether God is so angry by what we are doing. Who is we? Is it the Japanese? Is it the Americans? Is it liberals? Is it Obama? That he decides to send an earthquake to Japan, to the east coast of Japan, to then trigger a tsunami and nuclear power problems. And then I'm not even going to get into this part. Glenn Beck also accused the I Hate Nukes people at the United Nations of distorting the number of deaths resulting from the Chernobyl disaster. I think he was saying it's something like 60, even though the UN says it's about 4,000 if you include fatalities connected with exposure to radiation, so on and so forth. And actually, experts think it's higher than the official one. How does this count as anything? What did we just listen to? Is this not just a comedy show?
Yeah, as bad as it is, it's infinitely more intelligent and insightful than our friend Rush imitating the Chinese language. Mandarin or whatever, right?
It's at least
it's a lot better than that.
It's a more adult level of irrational God fear, and I don't even know what to call it. I just don't even know. The discussion is, I'm not saying God did this, but I'm not saying he didn't either.
I'm not saying God did this, but maybe God did this.
Right.
That's what he's saying.
It's incredible. I don't understand who. I try to watch Glenn Beck sometimes because it's just so absurd. And I used to be somewhat entertained by it all. I'm so bored by it now. I really am. I find it hard to tune in. Let's take a break. Congressman Mike Capuano is up next. On the bonus show, Donald Trump is a birther. Microsoft being called most ethical company by some. $5 ATM fees. DavidPakman.com/membership. And find us on Facebook too. We'll be back after this.
The David Pakman Show at DavidPakman.com.